Hello everyone, so today I will be talking about my personal favorite updates from 2025 in Yeeps. We'll go, I think, from about chronological order. But yeah, I was gonna do like a top 3 best, but like, I don't know, I can't pick. But yeah, there were some great updates in Yeeps this year, and the game really grew, like, a lot. Both in probably popularity and just how advanced and epic the game is. So yeah, let's get right into it. First of all, I have to say, they started out the year with a bang. Red versus Blue. This was a great map, and they added the whole like team arena mechanic game mode, and it was some of the most fun I've ever had in Yeeps, so peak. And also they came out with Battlecrafts like shortly after, kind of like an expansion of idea. This map was also peak. Dare I say, it might have been better than Red vs. Blue. I love these two maps, like, they're literally so much fun. I played these maps pretty recently when they were in rotation on the featured fin, and like, it's so peak, it's so good. Yeeps PvP is just something else. But yeah, this map's a lot of fun, very unique, and this one's great too, for castles and the reactor, like, so good. Some of the best updates, some of the best memories attached to them, and like, they're really good. Alright, I should probably stop glazing these maps. Alright, next I gotta say Prop Hunt. I don't like this nearly as much as the PvP Team Arena updates, but this was a lot of fun, and I think it was a great idea to add to the game. But I think one of the coolest things is that they allowed the star creators to like make some of the blocks. Like the earliest star creators, this was like one of the first ones they did. Like, I'm a Rainbow made this flower, and like, that's so cool. I would love to be able to make like something for a game, like chicken nuggets, soda, like it's great. I also thought this map was really cool. Like, look at the bank, this was such a good spot to hide in. And then shortly after we got the Prop Mall, which probably a better map. I think it is harder to find the props in though, like maybe a little too hard. But I really liked both maps. Honestly, I'm just kind of thinking about all the updates this year in order, and it's really hard to pick which ones I liked more than others, because I think most of them were pretty great. But I think the next one I'm going to mention is Yeeps 2.0. Now, Yeeps 2.0 was kind of controversial, and probably is. It definitely changed the game a lot, and I had a good amount of issues with it when it released. Like, the game was way too confusing, it was bad. But overall, you could tell they put a lot of effort into the update, and it was very cool. But it was super jarring to everyone that they just erased like the whole old like world map, got rid of like all the old maps, replaced them. It was kind of weird. I like the setup that we have now, where like the whole adventure mode of 2.0 is kind of separate, as I think that probably should have been how it was to begin with. Like, the update should have come out, you keep the old world, but then there's just a portal to the new world, which is this. But yeah, over time I think they really enhanced what 2.0 was, making it more clear where maps are, and changing the layout of things, changing the tutorial, doing all these adjustments. But yeah, I think all the stuff they made is super cool. Like, every once in a while I still do these loot quests. Not as much like for the past like 2 weeks, because like Christmas and stuff. But yeah, I think 2.0, the adventure stuff, is still popular, because I still get plenty of like good sized lobbies when I was doing the loot quests like a month ago. And I think the stuff they added was great. Not to mention that not only was a lot of adventure stuff, they added a bunch of gadgets like the saw blade launcher, and wrist vacuums, air blasters, normal boxing gloves. They really changed up the game too with like the terrain. Honestly, this was also a jarring part of 2.0. But looking back at footage of 1.0 with those dumb goofy looking 2D PNGs in the background. I mean, yeah, that has some nostalgia to it. It adds charm. But I think this looks way better. Like, bro, that looks so goofy. But yeah, and the dungeons, and when 2.0 launched, they were adding like a map every day for like a week or something. But yeah, and I just realized that there's a sign here showing a bunch of biomes that are down in the mushroom cavern. So they're still making good improvements. But yeah, I thought this was a great update. It took a bit getting used to, it took a bit for them to fix the problems. But in general, I think it was really good, and it changed the game completely in mostly good ways, I would say. I'm a yapper. I feel like this video is going to be a little long. Next up is the desert update. I loved this update. They added so many great gadgets like the revolver. They added epic mechanics like the minecart system. They even added 2 brand new game modes for the desert update, being Sheriff and Outlaw. But yeah, this update was packed. They added like literally all the fire stuff, like this bomb and these barrels and flamethrowers and flare guns. They added a boomerang. They added team item restriction consoles, which people really wanted, and team bubble setters, which are extremely useful. So overall, this update was really cool for gameplay, and really great for creative as well. But yeah, I mean, like, this has to be one of the best Yeeps updates ever, and one of the most requested ones, and overall, this update was pretty great. I also applied for Lab Rat at this time, for the first time. I really wanted to play the lab for this, but I didn't get accepted, but it was still cool to check it out when it officially launched. Next, honestly, back to Suburbs update. It was pretty cool. This is when they added a lot of the sports stuff, like baseball. Oh, that was horrible. Hold on. Yeah, there we go. That's way better. But yeah, the sports stuff was pretty cool. Honestly, people need to be making more sports maps. And this update basically revamped a lot of things for new players. They added this whole home map. My brain just like blanked there. I think this is a great map for new players. I still think they should probably have a tutorial, but this is pretty good. This is pretty good. Like, when I'm teaching new players, it's very simple. I'm just like, alright, hi, you're new. This is where you get stuff in. If you want to play official mini games, there, community world, fan-made stuff, build your own stuff. It's very simple. I love this layout. They also use a lot of portals, like a lot. But yeah, I don't think this was like a huge update, but it felt really nice to have a better, like, home world, and I think just everything they changed was for the better. And it gave like this OG feel almost, with like them adding the building terrain blocks and stuff. And they brought back so many old maps. They kind of pushed the 2.0 stuff like to the side a little bit, but not too much to the point where it felt like they scrapped it. Thought it was done really well, but I will be honest, probably a big reason why this is on the list is because this was my first lab. I had gone lab rat a while ago, but there wasn't a lab for like a long time. But this was the first one I did, so I have a lot of bias because of that. And honestly, the last update I'll be talking about is the newest one, the Toy Maker update. This update was very, very good. It brought the Toy Maker Workshop, which is the Wishlist Workshop, but like reworked into the Toy Maker Workshop. Technically, I guess it brought the Advent Calendar, which ended up having tons of items like this. And the Freeze Ray, which I made a video about the Advent Calendar gadgets if you want to watch that. And obviously they made the whole customizing items thing, like this Toe Jammer basketball that I keep showing. I made this Frost Budjo thing. I haven't done anything with the banner yet, but they added these banners that you can put anything on. But yeah, this one has a lot of potential. Overall, the system was really cool. You like recolor the fins, you decorate it, and I thought the idea was great, and it adds like so much more creativity to this game, which was already having tons of creativity. But yeah, pretty peak update. By the way, if you want some pretty cool items, go to Community World Spleefer Yeep. They'll be right on the left. Have a bunch of fins that me and my brother made. But yeah, also the Community World is pretty empty in general. But I'm hoping to add some pretty cool fins in the future. But yeah, those were my favorite updates from 2025. I know there were some I didn't include, like the fantasy update, pets, like those were cool. But these are like my top updates of this year, like the best. But yeah, thank you for watching this video. Let me know what your favorite update was, and goodbye.